monument honoring the state's first black pioneer, George Bush, and his son, William Owen Bush, who was the state's first black lawmaker. According to Como News, the monument is a collaboration between the Department of the Washington State Historical Society. Bush, who was biracial, helped lead families from Missouri in 1844 to settle in what is now Tumwater, Washington. The monument is expected to receive funding through an appropriation made by the state legislature this year. The installment could happen as early as this summer.
And that's your news on Rainier Avenue Radio.
What's on your heart? Are you exhausted at the lack of progress for people of color in business, politics, and life? This is Cindy Bright, the host of Heartbeat Radio. Each week, we explore this heart condition in the country that is affecting you and me. We have real conversations about what's necessary for change. It's time to change this dialogue. Will you join this Heartbeat weekly, Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Rainier Avenue Radio?
Wash your hands, don't touch your face, wipe things down, clean up your space. When you cough and sneeze, do responsibly. If you feel you're getting ill, isolate at home and chill. No, you're not alone. Please pick up your phone and call 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health 206-477-3977. King County 206-477-3977. Public Health Community Radio Station will provide you with more information. Say Rainier Avenue Radio. Your community radio station will provide you with more information. Rainier Avenue Radio.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not meeting Mrs. Jones in that cafe for a chat and nothing else, I'm listening to RainierAvenueRadio.world.
All right, here we go. It's another Thursday, 7 p.m. And I know this is Metro Sports Weekly. I'm Mazvita, Maraire, co-host. I know that Pat McCarthy is not meeting Mrs. Jones in the cafe because I can see him right over there. How you doing, sir?
I'm meeting you right here, Maz. How are you?
That's good. Something about being at the right place at the right time.
Hey, every Thursday right here.
Oh, that's so awesome. All right.
How was your week?
Thanks for asking. It was mine was as busy as yours, but and it's funny because it's what's great about this show and you is that it just flies. And then I'm here, right? And I'm like, great. Then when I try to look back and say, wow, how was the week? Let me see. Well, we had Maya Ekstrom Mendoza Ekstrom from the Seattle Sounders today, and she talked about some pretty incredible stuff that the Sounders are doing, not only for Black History Month. Do you know that this is National Women's History Month? You know that? Did you know?
I think I did know that. Yes.
Of course you did. You're that kind of guy.
No, Maz, I think that I heard it earlier in the week. So, I didn't know it, but it came across recently. So
I love the fact that,
look at money, man.
And there it is, right on the money, literally D-money. There is up there, y'all, the Rainier Avenue schedule for Women's History Month. Some pretty cool things that are there. These are all amazing shows, but I know Camillus Ballas does a great show, the Women Empowerment Radio. We're followed by on Thursday afternoon at 1, Monique is on there. Afternoons, Monique. So, look, the great thing about our dim sum smorgasbord menu at Rainier Avenue Radio is check out the schedule, take a look at what tickles your fancy, as they say, and give it a listen.
Yep, good stuff.
You asked, going back to my week, I really got into the Husky, the Pac-12 women's basketball tournament. I'm all dialed in on that, So yeah, I've been watching. It's funny. Yeah, I'm watching quite a bit of that. In fact, I was just watching it in between dinner, and so yeah, a lot of basketball going on, and I don't know about you, Pat. It feels a little normal, with it.
Yeah, I was just going to say that it's nice that, we're kind of getting back to being able to watch some things, to participate in things, at the high school level. We just had our first week of competition. So, it's feeling like we're moving in the right direction finally, right?
Yeah. And we're going to delve into that in the second half about you did have some competition, but there's football. Just want to get into all what that what that's like in terms of it's for me. I'm asserting that you all have been preparing. It's like that show, that live show on Broadway, or a musical. You know what I mean? And then the curtain goes up, and
I can just share that. This week we've already had competitions in volleyball, cross country, soccer, and so forth. But the big guys, the football events, they're bigger, and not to take anything away from the other events, but just to manage them and so forth. There's in stadiums, there's just a lot more to it. So, when we get to it, there's probably some glitches here and there, but we're as ready as we're ever going to be. So, and D Money is right on the spot again with our Rainier Avenue Radio. We're partnering with them, and they're going to be broadcasting some events for us. And you see there, Maz, that tomorrow night we've got a doubleheader, and there's 2 great games there. It's Seattle Prep versus Ballard, and then we also finish off the night with Rainier Beach and Garfield. Those will be 2 outstanding games that Rainier Avenue Radio will be covering. And then tomorrow or Saturday, we've got West Seattle and Cleveland, which will be another really great game, again covered by our very own Rainier Avenue Radio. So the fun really begins, this week, and we're really excited. We've had some great volleyball matches and some great contests already. Things have gone pretty smooth, and hopefully they'll go smooth over the weekend.
No doubt. Yeah, the volleyball I'm a little aware of because my goddaughter, Lonnie, texted me yesterday, was like, well, if you get a moment, tune in to the, what was it? The Instagram. So there was the Rainier Beach and Self, I think it was. They had the volleyball game, and it was on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. That's what Moz, we don't have fans. And so what we're trying to do school by school and program by program is to stream or get some content out to our fans and so forth. And we're trying hard on that. And, Rainier Avenue Radio is certainly helping us with that on some of the sports. I think they're going to cover quite a few football games, some volleyball matches, and possibly even some bowling matches. So,
yeah, we talked about. How was your week? I know,
Maz, it's just really busy. There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of preparing. Just to give you an idea, the athletic directors, and once again, I'll give a shout out to our ADs that have worked tirelessly for a lot of months here. But we're at the stage where we're sharing rosters. We have to be diligent about where we have a maximum number of people that can be in a stadium of 200. So, our bigger programs, that it pares them down, and making sure that we have the right event working staff, in all the right places. So there's just a lot of preparation just to plan who's at the event. Then we got to manage, what they're doing at the event and train people. And it's just a big lift. And we're there. We're excited about tomorrow. We're just excited that the kids are going to get out there and play.
All right. And you're going to be there tomorrow?
Absolutely. And my friends Tony Benton and Rick Dupree and Edwin Bailey are going to be there too.
and that's right. Yeah, I was going to say, where are you going to place them? But they don't. They're going to be in studio, I guess, right?
Well, no, they're going to be at the game. So
okay.
We've arranged. We couldn't get everybody in, but we've got some people in. And they will be setting up a table and broadcasting live from Memorial Stadium.
Oh, well, there you go. That is, and those are probably, Edwin is Edwin. So around the what I mean by that is he played for the Seahawks, and we've had him on the show as well. So he's a professional.
Absolutely. And Rick does a great job of calling the games. As you know, that they've done this for a few years now with us, and we're excited to have them there. And so if people are looking for a great way to see the games, Rainier Avenue Radio is the spot.
No, that's all right. So we're gonna get our guest on, and then. We'll talk more about the schedule later, but you talked about, so volleyball started, and
our sports have started, Maz. All the competitions have started.
Okay. Hold on. Let me. And how long will this season go on until?
In about middle of April, Maz. So. What we've decided to do in Metro League is have 2 little bit longer seasons than most traditional school districts. Most school districts have gone for 3 shorter seasons, traditional fall, winter, and spring, or a variation of that. We did season 1 and season 2 where we have a little bit longer season so the kids can participate a little bit longer in their sports.
And so, okay, and now that it's off and running. And what's been the preparation? And I mean, from a contact tracing kind of thing. What anything y'all found out this week, getting tomorrow? Anything pop up?
Maz, we've had some things in place actually since October when some of our coaches were working with our kids, in outdoor spaces. Student athletes now, they need to do an attestation process every day, which means they answer a series of questions, identifying that they don't have any symptoms and so forth. So they've got to do that every day before they practice. All athletes are, with just a few exceptions, have to be in masks. So even during competitions. So the volleyball players this week, they all were wearing masks, the coaches, the officials, everybody is in a mask at the events. And what we found is that it worked pretty well. The kids didn't mind, obviously they would rather not, but those are some of the requirements that are in place and that we make sure that we follow.
And how was the discussion with our guy getting the officials ready? Are they, they on board? You
mean Mr. John Lindsay, who we've had on the show before?
Absolutely. What was that process like in terms of just, because people don't, tell us what the coordination was in terms of here's the schedule, you contacting him and all of that.
Yeah. Well, as you know, I talked to John quite a bit throughout the year, even, 8 months ago. I've been in touch with John pretty consistently, over the course of, the last 8 months. It's intensified, obviously, because we've got games starting up, and we need to coordinate our schedules with John. And there's a new program that we submit our schedules in now that was new to us, but I think John's familiar with it, and officials are familiar with Arbiter. it was new to the athletic directors. And but we've managed to enter all the games and stuff in for John, and I follow up with phone calls with him and so forth just to talk about it. When officials come to the game, they're also going to be in masks. So and I don't exactly, and Maz, maybe you could share this, that they're going to either have whistles underneath their masks or part in their mask and stuff, but the officials have their things, their protocols all figured out. And whoever comes to the stadiums, we're able to track everybody that's in there. We know exactly who's coming in. The rosters are checked and double checked, and people that come and arrive, and everybody's signed off so that we know exactly who's in the stadium and where. So we have all those things in place.
Yeah, and from the officials, I can't really speak about the football, but a little similar. But I know that we get where we buy our uniforms. You now can get whether one that that covers or one that I know
the Gators. I think they call them Gators, right?
Yeah, the Gator. And I know for basketball, they're looking at one where it's in your hand. When you make the call. So it'd be interesting to see what those guys are wearing, just because but to your point, there has been intentionality from the official perspective as well to really get the safety and protocol there as well, for everybody.
Yeah. Maz, we look at it as partnership. The officials are our partners in putting on events and so forth. And in talking with John, that he's working with us. He knows that masks are required of all the athletes. And even though that it's not the officials' responsibility to remind kids to make sure their masks are on and stuff, but, the officials are going to help us, and help make sure that everybody is adhering to the rules that we need to follow. So, and John and the officials have been great. They've been just outstanding. And the other thing is that everybody is taking this very seriously, and that they are very thoughtful about the protocols, what they can do to make sure that things are safe for kids and safe for themselves. And so again, they'll be in masks, and they're coming to games ready to go. So they won't be in locker rooms. The kids are not going to be in locker rooms, in tight, enclosed enclosures, where they're all not socially distanced. So we're going to keep them out on the field and in outdoor spaces. So there's a lot of things that are in place, Mons.
And just, have you heard from, you probably have, but have you heard from just how excited they are in terms of, here it is. Like we said, it's the show's going to go on, especially for football. I know the other ones have gone on, but how excited have you heard from the coaches?
Yeah, the reports that we're getting back are that the kids are very happy to be out there playing, that you can really see an uplifting in them and being able to be with their friends and, on the court or out in the fields or running and so forth. And so that's been really positive to hear. And the coaches are excited for the kids, and they're happy to be out there too. And we had a good week this week. So.
Yeah. Well, like we said, we'll talk more about that. But our guest is here. He is I guess we're building up, right? We did the AAU basketball women, young girls last week, and this week, another legend, and on the boys, level, and he's coached high school as well, but another community member, legend, and I would say, a basketball family. You know what I mean?
Oh, you got that right, Maz. The team and basketball go hand in hand, right? So,
all right, let's bring them on. Tom Frazier. What's going on, sir?
How you guys doing, fellas?
Hey, we're okay. Did you hear that round of applause for you?
Yeah, I heard it. Man, I'm excited for the student athletes, man. They get to do something they love to do.
Yep,
You
isn't
know?
that true? Yeah, we're just thrilled for them, man. It was a big lift, but we got it going.
Yes, definitely. I'm at trials as we speak, and I got about over 30, 35 kids today. So I'm excited. Thank you for having me. I know I'm so excited to be back in the gym. You guys have no idea.
Yeah, yes, we do, Rick. We've all gone through it, right? And
Yeah.
we're happy to get everybody back. It's a tough haul, but we're there. So
I'm just glad the kids are safe, and at the same time, I wish every kid in every program we have in the state of Washington or across the world stay safe. That's the most important thing.
Yep.
Definitely missing. High school basketball is right around the corner. I'm excited for the football game this Friday. My alumni beach against Garfield. So
Yep.
All right. The reason why we have you on the show is because of what you just said. I'm excited for the kids. That's why we're honored to have people like you on.
Yes, most important.
You know what I mean? That line right there is why we have you on the show. So, all right. So let's back up. Let's
there you go, Maz.
Legend in
there you go. Let's get into the history. Let's get into the history of Mr. Frazier.
What did you play? What did you play? And how far did you go up? And then let's talk about coaching.
It started at the Central District, of course, with CAY under Andro and Daryl and Dan Finkley. That's what jump-started me. And also my first coach with Jamal Crawford was our first team was Rainier Beach Community Center when we was at the age of 6 and 7. So I really didn't I jumped into AAU. My playing days was cool. I played AAU, then I attended Rainier Beach High School, which is, my first option was Garfield, but because my whole family graduated out of Garfield, but I ended up at Rainier Beach, and I actually had a successful career there. Being a state championship in '98 as a young sophomore. That was it was a lot of pressure. I didn't play my freshman year. I had a 2.7, and my dad said my grades wasn't high enough for his standard. So I didn't play my freshman year. Came out, had good grades my sophomore year, and I was kind of nervous to play against, play with, Big Dave King, Philip Heath, Teddy Huger as a young sophomore. And I just went in there and worked hard. I wasn't scared. My heart was huge. I always been little, so size didn't really matter to me. That's what my dad always taught me.
All right, yes, you did. Go ahead, Pat.
I just have to interject here, Maz. When Rick was a sophomore, they had a team. Man, they were a squad, and they were fun to watch.
Coming into the building, at school, our first game was O'Day at Rainier Beach, and that was a huge game after O'Day coming off a state championship with Doug Wren and all them guys. And you got people in the building talking about, you guys are going to get scraped. And, so we came out with the mindset is nobody really wasn't talking about Rainier Beach in '98 at all. So after winning that game, that kind of set the tone for the rest of the season.
Rick, tell everybody who was on your team. Just go through those guys.
We had, I tell our kids now, look my players now, they only know Jamal Crawford, but we had David King, Philip Heath, who Mr. four-time Mr. Olympia now, Teddy Huger, Tim Ellis, was on the team.
Yeah.
And so the list, we was actually deep. And one thing Coach Mike really did honed in on us was to play smart, play hard, and have fun. That was his motto.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take you back because you just don't. Yeah, I started playing basketball with Dan Finkley, Andrew, and Daryl, and just push them off to the side. I mean, that is a. Will you just? I'm sure most people know, but who is Andrew? Who is he?
Coach Andrew is one of the elite coaches we have around in the community in the AAU at Rotary Boys and Girls Club. As a matter of fact, he's got his son here who's coaching AAU now, giving back to the community with the kids also as well here at ECBA. Andrew was a great coach, great leader. He's still doing it. He's still at Rotary. He's doing it. He has longevity, man.
Yeah, he's really, and he coached at Garfield. He rode the wave. Incredible community person. And I want to say he was also at Cleveland, but I could be.
He was at Cleveland. No, he was at Cleveland Girls.
Yep.
He got a state championship over there. Yep.
And then of course Dan Finkley, and another incredible coach, community member who coached at Garfield as well. And I tell him every so often, but I remember when reffing against Dan Finkley, and he was bigger than life. And I remember, and they were like, what you do is when one of the things they teach young officials is that, you get a coach that's barking at you. You know what I mean? About 3 seconds going one way. They said that what you can do is then when it goes the other way, his players, then you call 3 seconds as close, right at 3 seconds, wink, wink. You know what I mean? And so, I was above, I was swimming. Like, here's this great coach, and he's going 3 seconds. And I went down there, and I flustered it. I called 3 seconds and 2 seconds. And Dan was like, I see how we're rolling today, And it was just broke the ice. And he knew I was nervous. And after that, from a young official, that's just the kind of person, they all are. But I always talk about Dan Finkley in that story. And, of course, Daryl, what can you say about Daryl?
A legend. A legend in the community. Look how many kids he has coached, and he's still doing it at a high level. He's been there since we was little. He's still doing it. He got one of the top-notch programs in the state. They do very well. I keep up with them. They do very, very well when they're out of town. There's nothing you can say, words can say about D. D's a great man. He care about these kids. He care about these kids, man. And for somebody that long to be doing this and still doing it at a high level, that's amazing.
Yeah, and what I've always admired about Daryl is that he treats all those kids, right? Like from player 1 to 12 the same, and he's willing to go to bat for them and have discussions. And it's just incredible. They're all treated with consistency and integrity. Like you said, Ricky, he cares about the kids.
And it's crazy you say that.
Yeah, Rotary, obviously.
I was working at Washington Middle School, and I called him. Yeah.
No, go ahead. Well, I tell you what. Hold on to that thought. Let's go on break. We're gonna go on break, and then we're gonna bring you back because man, we deep into it. So thank you, and then we'll hear you called him and all that, Daryl. So we're gonna go on break. This is Metro Sports Weekly. We're so honored with Ricky Frazier, Paul Frazier, if you will, and then of course my guy, co-host, can't do it without him, Pat McCarthy from Metro League. We'll be right back, and then we'll continue this amazing discussion.
This is Paul Pearson, host of Star Time. And when I'm not stopping a Mercer Island street brawl, I'm listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world.
You probably have questions about COVID vaccines. Here are some answers about how they're being made.
How are COVID vaccines being produced faster?
Usually, vaccine testing and production are separate steps. But because of the pandemic, vaccines are being developed on parallel tracks. So both steps are happening just at the same time.
How are the vaccines being tested?
Right now, several different COVID vaccines are in testing. Each go through multiple clinical trials with up to thousands of volunteers.
How do vaccines get approved?
Not all COVID vaccine versions will make it to the final stages of testing and approval. Produced vaccines that do not pass clinical trials will be destroyed. But for those that do pass, a team of medical experts will examine test results and possible side effects. If the vaccine is effective and safe, it gets approved and gets to you. Go to covidvaccinewa.org to learn more. A message from the state of Washington.
Hey, y'all, how you doing? This is that guy, Curtis, from R&R Live Jam Sessions. I want y'all to tap in with me every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time right here on Rainier Avenue Radio.world. R&R Live Jam Sessions, baby. Holla.
This is the news on Rainier Avenue Radio.
Remy Martin scored 26 points, and Kimani Lawrence scored 22, and Arizona State walloped Washington 97-64. For Como News, Lawrence finished 9 for 11 shooting, but it was Martin's late first half outburst that helped seal the Huskies' fate. Hamir Wright threw down a dunk for Washington and rescued the Huskies' deficit to 30-25 with 6-13 before intermission. That led to an Arizona State eruption, in which the Sun Devils outscored Washington 9-4 for a 20-point halftime lead. Martin scored 9 straight to start the outburst, and 13 of the 9 teams. Marcus Cojones scored 6 points for Washington.
And that's your news on Rainier Avenue Radio.
You're listening to Rainier Avenue Radio.world. Check us out on social media. Facebook and Instagram, Rainier Avenue Radio.world, and on Twitter at Rainier Ave Radio.
All right, let's get right into it. We are back with Metro Sports Weekly. Mazvita, Maraire. Yeah, I'm walking all over that music theme, Cool and the Gang celebration, because we just got a guest that we need to get so he can continue telling us what's going on. So is it Ricky? You want to call you Paul Frazier? Which is it? You know,
it doesn't matter. Rick's fine.
Okay, yeah. Well,
Coach.
Pat, I think you're right. I'm gonna go with Coach. So, Coach, I stopped for a second. So here you are. You're getting that call from Daryl. Take us through that, and then please continue the story about you and your the state championship.
Okay. I happened to call Daryl. I work at Washington Middle School, and I know a couple guys that play for Rotary, so they were kind of struggling in the classroom, and I called D, and he came. The Boys and Girls Club is only around the corner from Washington. He popped up to the school. We had a nice meeting about the student, about his academics, and that tells you a true character of a coach and a person that really cares. And he came within 20 minutes up to the school, and we had a conversation. We had a meeting, about the kids' academics, and we got back on track. And and that's a true character of a guy that I admire and I respect.
the behind the scenes stuff that he does is incredible. You know, those those little things, because checking on the kids, you know, not when the light is on, but in behind. So there you are, state champions. Y'all went to Tacoma Dome, correct? Is that what you used to?
We was at Kingdom. We was at Kingdom.
Kingdom. Wow.
Kingdom.
Yeah. It was like almost the last year, right?
All right. Was it the last year that they played in the Kingdom? Was that it?
It was pretty close, right, Coach?
Okay. Yeah. You're breaking up a little bit. We got, but you know, we're gonna keep you on, and there we go. Now you're back. So you said something about so it was in the Kingdom was when you guys played the state championship.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So you win it, and then what happens the next year? And then, you know, you get out of beach. You know, what was that like? There you go.
We lost to Mariner. You know, I want to say second round, I believe. We lost to Mariner. They had two big guys who became NFL footballers. Yeah, Tail and Amon. So
that's right.
And Jamal actually got a 50. Yeah, Jamal. Oh man, they were huge, and we had nobody. I mean, Jamal had to guard them. We had in that year we had a different team. We had a different team. We had a lot of guys came in from different schools too, like 3 guys from different schools. So it was kind of we had to. So, but yeah, we did done.
So then, did you go play college after high school?
Yeah, I went to Shoreline Community College after I graduated Rainier Beach. I was actually Northern MVP my sophomore season there. I made first team my freshman year at Shoreline Community College. Took us to.
We're gonna stay with him because I want to hear the story about Shoreline. So he's gonna come back. Figure out where he's practicing. Yeah, so that's Coach Frazier right there talking about you know, they won one state championship, and then he went on to Shoreline, right? Where you took him the first year you guys got to the playoffs, correct? At Shoreline?
Yeah, we got to the end. Yeah, we got to the NWAC. I think we finished 5th or 6th in NWAC. I ended up being Northern MVP my sophomore season, and then played in the NWAC also game, scored 22, and got offered a scholarship, basketball full ride scholarship to Lewis and Clark State in Idaho.
Hey, Coach, who Shoreline?
Steve Eskridge and Travis DeKeer's uncle, Coach DeKeer.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, you've had some good coaches, haven't you?
Yeah, I was out there with.
Yeah.
Oh man, I had some amazing coaches. Yeah.
Yeah, good for you.
So, yeah. So, and then I just went on to Lewis and Clark State. Did 2 years down in Idaho.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since then, I just finished up. I came back to Seattle and just started coaching ever since.
Yeah, I got a question, Maz, for Coach, because he's just really a dedicated guy that gives back to kids and does a lot of coaching, and he does it for the right reasons. And Coach, how have you developed your philosophy? Are you taking a little bit from everybody and trying to form your own philosophy, or how's your approach these days?
I couldn't hear you.
Okay. Hey, I was just asking you how you're developing your philosophy with all those good coaches that.
I'm just developing what I learned from them coaches, and then sprinkling my own little, stuff in. I learned a lot from a lot of coaches. You know what I'm saying? Coach Mike. Take bits and pieces from each coach that I went to college with. These coaches clinics and stuff like that. So I kind of teach these guys, and then I got throw my little own flavor in every now and then. So,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's great. People like Coach here, they just do a great job for our kids. He's got such a great background, and he's learned from people, and he's makes his own twists and stuff, which makes him really successful. So, great job, Coach.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. What is it about the game? What is it about coaching? I mean, why do you do it?
For one, relationships, having a relationship with the kids. Sometimes we're more than just a coach. You're a father figure, you're a big brother, you're a family member. And it's not just because of the sports. You got to love them off as well too. You know what I'm saying? Off the court, like I tell my guys all the time, it can be taken away from you in a heartbeat, in the snap of a finger. So, you got to build from it, man. And I learned that under my cousin Craig Jackson, who, man, I can't thank him enough, man. Like I'm glad he's my cousin. Let's put it that way, man. He's a great man, great coach, and I learn from him every day. So, but I love my players, man. I just want my players to succeed. They can go further than what I did,
Well, where he went to high school, right? So that I'm all about that school. So
yeah, I know. we give him a hard time at family events, man.
What? No. Well, let me know, because I'll be there to chew on a rough right out. What's amazing, and you, I've known you quite a bit, not as long as Craig and Jamal. It's interesting, just to tie it back to the high school, is they haven't changed. You know what I mean? That glow of that individual and what they're out to do and make a difference has not changed, and it's really divine. You know what I mean? It really is divine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I saw a post on Facebook, and to your, where it had a big screen, you were taking notes, and you had another TV over here. And just
yeah. My wife, it's nonstop when I get home. I'm always watching basketball. And I just keep learning. You know what I'm saying? I never want to settle.
That's what I love about you, Coach, is that you've got that desire to keep getting better and improving your skill, and who benefits from that is the kids and the relationships that you develop. So good on you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now let's go back to where you are now. I mean, in terms of where you talked about you had 30 kids. Can you tell us about the program and what's going on right now?
Yes, I'm now over here with Coach Petty and Jason Bassett at ECBA out in Kent. Right now we got, it's hard to tell how many teams we got now. We had a bunch of kids. Like it was crazy. Like, I mean, when Governor opened up, we're still doing by protocols, no doubt. You know what I'm saying? And keeping these kids safe. That's the first thing. But when tryouts and when he opened up the gyms and stuff, it was just flooding with kids. And you could tell that the kids was been sitting at home and was ready, So it's a great program. We're out here based in Kent. We got training. We got shooting classes. You got a weight room. You're working on your core, your body, everything. I'm doing training with dribbling. So it's a great program here at ECBA. The Pioneers. Most people know they've been around for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So great program. We got some good coaches coming in. You got Jerry Petty, who's the athletic director over here in the program. So, and you got the owner, Jason Bassett, who's running the program. We got about probably like 5, 6 grade teams. So.
Yeah, we've had Jerry on the show.
Mm-hmm.
I know Jason is probably an amazing person. I just don't know him, but I'm sure he's incredible. But what are you going to say about Jerry and just who he is, what he's become?
Yeah, that's my ace, man. We was in the gym today talking about if that 98 Garfield would have played Rainier Beach, what would have happened? We still live in that day, because we wanted to play Garfield that year. They won, and we was happy. We was happy that they won it too. We was cheering for them because I know how Coach Mike was best friends with Floyd, and we were supporting them. They were supporting us. That's what I liked about that. But then after we both won it, we wanted to, and Rodale, Smiley, Trey, we still talk about that. Like, what would have happened if we would have played that game? So,
yeah, that's another.
Yeah, Coach, did you guys play in the regular season?
No, we didn't play. Nope. They were 4A. They were 4A. They were 4A. Yeah. I think the only time I played Garfield, I want to say my junior year at the Key Arena in the Hoop Fest.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wayne Floyd. That's another name. Man, you tell Roydell Smiley I DM'd him to come on the show, and he didn't reply back. So you better let him know I'm looking for him.
Yeah,
and,
tell him because he got that stud over there, boy. Little legend. He got that stud over there, man. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, if you get to it before I do, let him know, man. We're going to talk bad about him. I text him. I must have a bad number because that's another incredible. He came through Rotary. You know what I'm saying? Like you're saying.
He did.
Garfield, and now he's giving back. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that's what we got to do. We too old to play now. We got to give back. So. But yeah, he's another person. He's another great guy and person that gives back, man.
Well, Coach, that's the thing. David King is coaching, and Jamal certainly helps the community and so forth. That's just speaks to the quality of you guys that when you went through high school, what you were about. Because now look at you guys. You're all giving back, and you guys are great.
Thank you. I mean, we love the game so much, and it gave us life. We had our years, but like I tell my son, who's a senior now this year, I can't do it no more. It's up to you, But we like to be around the game,
Yep, absolutely.
And Wayne Floyd, that's a whole other story we can talk about. Just his imprint in the Central Seattle, and just him as an individual. Hey, we should take a moment to acknowledge the passing of who built Garfield. I did. How many bricks?
Oh, right? Man, Rick. I know Rick, man. Hey, and my family graduated out of Garfield, so and I used to see him directing the band. That what made me want to go to Garfield. Just because the band. And I saw Rick. Doing this. So man, that was sad, man. But my blessings to his family, and the whole Garfield community, so man, it hurts, man, because it was a great guy. He was a great guy, and he was always he never missed it. He never missed a sporting event.
No, yeah. Shout out to Rick and the whole Garfield family. You all are hurting a little bit. Well, we're just blessed enough to connect with angels for so long, but sooner or later they got to go. You know what I mean? Like they got to go where they belong, and he truly is. That was Rick. So
and see, I talk about that all the time, man. I always promised my grandmother, man, before she passed, man, that I will be a head coach at some point, and I'm gonna live up to that. So
yes, you will, Rick.
Yeah,
great.
Coach, you touched on this a little bit, but how the game has changed at the AAU level, the weights, the working of the core, we're talking off the field, but just the importance of that now, I'm sure you've done about it.
It's very important. I mean, like me personally, I didn't really know what weights was until I got to college and had to get up at 5 a.m, have weights and then go into your first class at 7 o'clock. So it taught me a lot, but the way this generation got it set up, they got weights, they got Vertimaxes, they got all kind of stuff, man. And you got a lot of people giving back, training and doing all the extra stuff, getting these kids' bodies right, eating right, so we didn't have that. It was just roll the ball out and get out and go.
And how much do you spend? I know you guys do, because Jerry's talked about this, but just in terms of the balance, of giving it everything you got, but also balancing life in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. I've been married a year, so I'm balancing it out. Once I get home, even though I know you saw that post, I'm watching it and got my board and I'm doing stuff. But she supports me. She know what it's like a dream to me. You know what I'm saying, to do what I do. And and I come home and balance everything. Like, once I'm done with, after 8 o'clock, when the time I get home, don't be answering the phone, for the basketball. It's family time, So, and then we do date nights on the weekend and stuff like that with the kids and stuff. So.
Yeah. When I saw the post, and it was, your wife.
And she posted it. That's the thing. She caught me slipping because I wasn't paying attention. So
yeah, there's just got to be something about, kids seeing that as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, and I think Pat touched on this a little earlier, but just about the wholeness of you and all these, the people. Tasha was here last week, and just what it's like to be a coach now. It just isn't the basketball. It's being a member of the community, an upstanding member of the community, and that makes a difference in the life of kids. I really think
it really does. When you wake up, you get a text message from one of your players, Coach, man, thank you for opening a gym for me. Even if you don't play, and like I said, me personally, I might coach in a different program, but I want every kid at different programs to succeed, not just my kids, but everybody. You can coach at local hoops, Rotary. You can coach it to, what I'm saying? It's all about the kids succeeding at the end of the day, So, but when you wake up to a text message from your players and, Coach, thank you. I can't wait to go to Phoenix. I can't wait to get in a gym. That's the best feeling you can have as a coach. And then he tells you got a 3.8. Oh yeah, that's good.
Try to say this, so it isn't about me, but this is the effect you all have on not only the kids, but some of us as an official. So I went to the WSU game. When they played UW, right? And there's only a few of us in the stands. So I'm sitting there, and after the game, Noah came up to me in the stands and said hello. And he said, "Are you still reffing?" And that was, the connection. And Freddie Brown Jr. did that as well. But we talked about this in our officials meeting. You guys are not only coaching them about, like we said, the body, the mind, and the soul, but the integrity of the game, and because after games now, more so than ever, pre-pandemic, players come up to us, nice game, and the relationship you all have with us is very meaningful and inspires the kids to play. I just had to shout that out to y'all. you know.
Oh man, I appreciate it. And that's one thing. And that's one thing I do like the last few years of my AAU programs and even the JV when I was at Franklin. Man, go dap the ref up after the game. You know, before or after. Just let them know you respect it, man. You respect the game. That's the bottom line. You know.
Yeah, and it's the game, and then it's the community. We're all in this community. Yeah, go ahead.
That's big, and that's I was gonna hone in the community. That's huge. You know, it's not about you; it's about the whole community.
It is. It is about the collective, and that is why, like Pat and I talk about, and those nights when you go into any gym in the Metro League, or and it's
because the first time I had you at Raider Beach when I was on JV, I said, "Oh, we got Mazvita. Let's mess with him for a minute before the game."
I love it. Yeah, but every time. Nah, I remember who is it? Big Mike. I come in there, and every time I walk, he said, "Oh, we're down 15."
and then when you sit on the bench with Dave and Gary Ladd, man, it's comedy over there, man. So
it's priceless. I would pay to just be part of that community. And what's her name at the scoreboard? You know what I mean? She's been there for, it's just really, it's priceless, and just to be a 2-bid player in that, big production is incredible. And it's what you guys do, and it's tireless, and you don't want anybody to really know, and that's what's incredible. You just do it for the love of the game. So
and see, I respect what you do, and I respect what Pat do. Man, I appreciate you guys, what you guys do for the community, and what Pat does with Metro. I mean, I know that's a tough job, man. But I kudos to you guys, man. And
hey, right back at you, Coach. You're doing it the right way.
I'll say this comment about Pat, and then you can take us home. We got about a couple minutes just in what's next. But in all the years I've worked with Pat, he's never said the job is difficult. Never. I've never heard him complain about the job. Do you know what I mean?
And that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. Not once. Not a big sigh or whatever. Pat, you can't get away from that one. So, all right.
So what, Maz, we're as good as our coaches, and you got guys like Coach here that just do it the right way, and we can't go wrong. So.
All right, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it in because as D Money says, you gotta go. As Rick would say, you gotta go. So, Coach, just appreciate you, who you are, not just you, but your family, and we want to thank you. Thank your wife for letting you stay in the community.
I echo that. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate all you do.
Thank you guys, man. It's all about the kids, man.
Absolutely.
It is about the kids, and there he goes, Coach Frazier, and he is over at ECBA. They got a great program over there. Look for them, like he said, Jerry Petty, and then who was Jason? Is in charge.
Jason Bassett. Yeah, in charge of the program.
So thank you all for all the stuff you guys are doing. Thanks for coming on the show, Coach. I appreciate it.
Man.
Pat,
thank you for having me.
Well, we'll bring you back. Listeners, thanks again. And without you, we wouldn't have no show. So we'll be back again. Thanks, D-Money. I'm Mazvita, Maraire, Metro Sports Weekly. See you next week, Pat.
This is your celebration.